Hi guys, so in today's video I'm going to show how to make molds and cast your Warhammer 40k parts. Hey guys, before you get on your high horse about Games Workshop and their IP, just to say I will be using the sprues from all the Warhammer 40k kits I've already assembled and glued and painted. And obviously some of the sprues, yeah, I keep the nice long edges in here. You'll see me make a whole variety of stuff with these. And yeah, I've got loads of videos coming up with, well, more builds. So the first thing to do is pick the bits that you want to, well, duplicate. And obviously I'm going for some nice orky looking sort of terrain bits here. So these are made for some great scatter terrain, even though this is like a, well, this is a big head that when it gets put together. Yeah, I've still got lots of things I've not quite put together and painted. As you can see from this one, I've already gone around the edge and taken those lovely long sprues. And I've kind of done it with all the sets I've got. And guys, yeah, I've got some big projects lined up. So if you do have any unwanted sprues, by all means, get in touch and send them my way. I know I've got several boxes turning up very, very soon. So I can't wait to crack on and, well, show you what I can make with all these lovely sprues. So getting to the serious business now, the first thing to do is obviously take the part you want, cut it away from the sprue, obviously keeping all the sprue, cleaning it up, and then getting ready to make a mold of it. So you'll have seen me do this in a few of my recent videos, but today's video is something different. I'm going to be using well, it's a reusable molding compound. Something I've not used before, but something that is very simple and easy to use, I must admit. When I saw this stuff and it sort of says it's reusable, it's like, yeah, is it going to be any good and be reusable? Well, time will soon tell. So I've got my pieces, put them in. Obviously there are some gaps underneath these things because they're not laying flat. That's why I like to use plasticine at the bottom, just because I can push whatever item I want to take a mould of into it. But then also I can use the plasticine just to fill in any little gaps because I don't want any of this mould stuff getting underneath. And yeah, I'm using some good old, well, it's fake Lego, guys, just in case anyone gets upset because I'm using Lego in a, well, a non-Lego manner. Yeah, this is just some cheap knockoff stuff, which is great for making molds because it goes together really easy, and as you'll see later on, it breaks apart really easy. So that's my pieces already, and now this is the magic stuff, Flexi Mold. So this is from Green Stuff World. As you can see on the side there, it says reusable. So it turns up, it's like a solid jelly, smells absolutely lovely, but yeah, you just stick it in the microwave, which is a, well, crazy thing to do, but this stuff, yeah, it turns into a lovely liquid. Doesn't take too long at all. Obviously this is really hot, so be careful you don't get any on you. And then yeah, just pour it in, and that's it. It's that simple. So I've reused this stuff quite a few times, but obviously you'll see in the video just how we reuse this. Very simple, very quick, very easy. And the other great thing with this is obviously because it's really obviously hot now, as soon as it cools down, it then obviously firms back up into, well, that hard sort of rubbery look we saw at the beginning. And the other good thing with this is you can speed up this process. I mean, it only took, I think it took about 45 minutes, if that. But you can speed it up by putting this in your fridge or your freezer. So as soon as this stuff is cooled back down, yeah, then it turns into, well, the hard sort of rubbery look it had before. So I got my pieces. I did try and put this piece in, but as you can see, yeah, I kind of run out of Lego. So I do that bit. You'll see that bit being done as well bit towards the end. So I had to do the others first. This is why I mean I love using Lego for molds because the things come off real quick and easy. You just break them apart. Sometimes they might need a little bit of cleaning up. They might have a little bit of resin in between them. But other than that, yeah, so much easier than trying to make a sort of a plastic case to pour resin in. This stuff, yeah, quick, simple, easy. And the molds themselves, yeah, very pleased with how these have come out. I've used something kind of similar to this, the old blue stuff. Is it Oyamaru? Oyamaru? Yeah, again, it's another one of these ones where you sort of warm it up, use it, and then when it dries, it goes hard like. But yeah, so these have come out really, really well. So as we can see, I'm going to try out the good old SPRUE Mark II here and just see how well that kind of works in this stuff. And this is literally just a cement glue, and I'll put some sprues in there. So this is great for obviously just filling in gaps, because obviously I use the one with the little brush, so you can sort of just brush it around. But yeah, we'll see how that comes out later on. So the other ones, I am just using good old sprue goo. So guys, if you haven't done this before, it literally is getting a nice sort of container, as in this case a little jar. And you do need something airtight. Getting some acetone, which is kind of like a glass cleaner, nail polish remover, and a whole variety of other stuff it's used for. So you can buy this, well, almost everywhere. And then yeah, cutting up sprues, putting them in there, and then leaving them overnight. And the acetone, it kind of breaks down or dissolves or does something to the structure of the sprues and makes it soft and gooey like this, which is just called sprue goo. So obviously this stuff, you put it out, obviously I'm pushing it into the mould here, as you can see. And then once you leave this for a good, say at least 7 hours, preferably longer. Again, most of these things that I do, I just leave them overnight. So come the next morning, yeah, they're good to go. And then obviously the acetone evaporates out of this. And yeah, this stuff goes back to being, well, good old sprue, so nice and hard. So this is a case of keep patting it down. Obviously you want to try and get it into all the nooks and crannies. So this is where this stuff works well for like 1-part molds. 2-part mold, possibly not, because you can't really push this stuff in very well. Plus, as soon as the air gets to this, then it does start forming a skin on it where the acetone sort of evaporates. So the Sprue Goo Mark II, it seems to have problems here and is still, well, sticky, tacky and gloopy. Whereas the normal Sprue Goo, yeah, this has come out really well. Again, you're not going to get things perfect doing this sort of technique, but anything sort of nurgly and orky, or anything where you want it to look like it's been, well, shot up, battle damage, then yeah, Sprue Goo is the way to go. So this stuff, honestly, it came out a lot better than I hoped and expected, because there's quite a lot of detail in these sort of parts, and yeah, these definitely have taken on a lot of that detail, even though there are lots of like bullet holes in everything. So yeah, this stuff, I'm kind of guessing there's no real way of this sort of stuff drying out. I've used silicone molds before, and this Sprue Goo Mark II does seem to dry in that. It does take a lot longer than normal Sprue Goo, but I'm guessing this sort of this flexi mold doesn't allow air at all to get in. So yeah, things don't dry as they should do. But yeah, the parts, love how these come out. Say the battle damage for me just makes them even better, because yeah, these things look like they've been shot lots. But this is the joy of this stuff. Obviously you use it, cast it, mold it, you make your pieces, and then you can just cut this stuff back up and put it back in the jar, and put it in the microwave and reuse it. So for that aspect, it's really good. So if you want to sort of cast and mold bits really quickly, then yeah, I would highly recommend getting this stuff, because I say it only takes about 45 minutes for it to sort of fully cure, go back to its hardened state. Could reduce that even more by sticking it in the fridge. And the fact, if you're only making a few parts, then yeah, doing this nice and quick, but then reusable, so you can make more parts. So as you can see, yeah, I'm making these sort of round discs because I have got a, well, my next video, I'm making a Chaos Knight. I've already started making it, and there are sort of updated pictures over on my Patreon page if you wanted to follow along. I'm trying to sort of update at least every other day, if not every day, on the bits that I'm making. So yeah, I'm going to be making some molds to sort of cast, well, bits and pieces. So just to sort of check that this mold wasn't too small, and that's why the sprues didn't sort of go back to being the hard form. Yeah, going to use good old normal Sprue Goo in this one. Obviously, it's not going to take too much because, well, it's a small little mold, but we'll give that a go anyway and see how that turns out later on in the video. So the flexi mold sets really nicely again, and I've already tried out some Sprue Goo in this. Obviously, the only problem is I should have cleaned out the flexi mold a bit better. As you can still see, there's little bits of the plasticine in there. So that's my bad, not really sort of cleaning it out properly. But it's obviously done really, really well. And yeah, got loads of nice sort of circle discs here, which, well, these you will see in the next video with the Chaos Knight. Another good thing is, obviously, I can make, well, loads and loads of these. Because these are going to get used loads for that project. But obviously, I do have bits boxes where I make sort of molds and bits and pieces with Sprue Goo. And yeah, just keep them in there. So here we go. Will this one come out better than the first? And yeah, the answer is definitely yes. So it's had the same amount of time as the other one to sort of dry, cure, whatever. Here it is next to its original one. And again, it just has these little bullet holes. So yeah, you're never going to get anything too sort of precise and neat. But say, like me, if you love orcs, nurgles, or the sort of battle damaged looking stuff, then yeah, Sprue Goo will definitely give you that without you even having to try. And yeah, say this is a great way of sort of reusing all those sprues that we've obviously got left over from all the, well, hopefully all the boxes that we've painted. And yeah, everything has come out really, really well. But if you did want a better looking cast and didn't want all the potholes, then what you'd need is some good old epoxy resin. And I get mine from Let's Resin. I'll leave links down below, guys, as always, to whatever I use. And this one, yeah, it's a good old two-parter. But this one comes with these little nozzle things you stick in them. So rather than having to lift up this whole thing, you can just sort of, well, squirt the stuff out. It did take quite a lot of pumping to initially get the stuff up there. But once it started coming out, yeah, it was good to go. So I'm using the clear resin here. You can also get these little dye stuff from clear resin, so you can make it, well, different colours. So yeah, just a case of mixing the two together. It's always tricky though when you get sort of two parts components and they're both sort of the same, as in both clear. So yeah, it is tricky knowing just how much or how much longer you need to keep stirring for. So I'm using my handy little gizmo in my little cordless tool, and basically I did this for about 5 minutes just to make sure it was well and truly mixed in. So I have used this stuff before, and yeah, really good, self-leveling, self-degassing, because I don't have one of those big chamber pots, and bubble free this stuff, even though obviously it looks like there's loads of bubbles, well, because I've just mixed it up. Yeah, this one, yeah, does stuff really, really well because it just does it all on its own, which is pretty cool. So it does take a while though for this stuff to, well, to sort of cure, to harden. The Sprue Goo left it overnight. This stuff, yeah, I probably left this about 2 nights just to make sure. And then once I was happy it had fully cured, yeah, case of demolding, like all the others, just peel away the mold there, and yeah, perfect looking sort of little barricades, terrain, whatever you may want to use this stuff for. Obviously a bit clear, so we'll solve that by just painting it or priming it in some grey. And as you can see there, yeah, some lovely looking casts that are, well, bullet free, bullet hole free. Although I do love the look of the bullet holes, must admit. And there we go. That's just how easy it is to mould and cast Warhammer 40k parts using good old Sprue Goo. And say this is obviously my preferred method, but love this stuff, Flexi Mould. So if you want to be able to make some quick, easy, fast, reusable molds, then yeah, this is the stuff you want to go for. So talking about that Chaos Knight that I'm currently working on, yeah, I'm making some shoulder pads. And again, it's good old Sprue Goo, so never going to be perfect, but perfect enough for my needs. So that's cool. And say this stuff, reusable. I love that idea. And yeah, love how the terrain bits came out. So guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget, if you do like what I do, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell, as I do produce at least 1 to 2 videos every week, either making things with sprues, bits and pieces, or doing some sort of painting sort of tutorials. When I say tutorials, it's nice, simple, easy painting. But yeah, guys, sprues, keep hold of them, make things with them, have lots of fun. There is another video popping up on the screen, guys. Give that a click, see more of what I do. And if you want to see behind the scenes of what I'm currently working on, then join Patreon, as this does help me out a whole lot. And means I can sort of continue to do this full time. And you get to see, well, what I'm doing before it comes to YouTube. Anyway, guys, like, share, subscribe, leave comments, all that cool stuff. See you in the next one. Bye now.